Welcome to Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic.
And crash. You son
Oh, God. Hold on. Pause.
Brad and Fat Man Zoom are here to help you own it.
They were targeting Wall Street when they should have been targeting Capitol Hill. They should have been targeting DC. This is the same thing, and this is what people keep missing.
Taking it to the suits, being relatable and hilarious.
You bought GameStop at 400, didn't you? To the moon, baby. To the moon.
Get ready to own the chaos in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That guy over there is Fat Man Zoom. Fat Man Zoom, who is our starting five?
What's up, what's up? We got, did I just really do what's up, what's up?
You sure did. Shout out, Don. Shout out, Don Fran from the Don Fran Show.
Oh, we're shutting this stream down. We're starting a new one. Starting five is Sean Ethier, Mysterious Gal, Sam Cisneros, Rudy Brown, and Ralph Van Den Huck.
Thanks for showing up early. Guys, the
Yes,
stock
sir.
market is crazy and chaotic. We made it our mission to help you guys own it. And Fat Man Zoom, the stock market's a little wild today.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the reasons why. We'll talk about what happened in our accounts, any moves that we made, one impending move that I'm trying to make, and sort of the other action that's going on. But yeah, it's been crazy. However, it's been coming back quite nicely.
Yeah, it looks much better right now.
How was your trading day? Was it a sit on your hands day, or did you sort of close your laptop, or were you watching?
I bought the effing dip, baby. I actually went and got some more Dry Shack this morning. I bought some more Clover right at $13. And just now, as the stream was going live, I ended up adding to a firm as well. A firm had a nice little pullback. And actually, everything that I was in had a nice little pullback. So I took advantage of it. I'll explain some reasons as to why. A lot of it has to do with the reaction in the market today, too.
Yeah. I wanted to add to some things, but I didn't. I mean, I had an order in for Alcoa, which was from yesterday.
Yeah.
And I wanted to move that order up, but I was like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll rip off Rita, and maybe it'll eventually come down.
Yeah.
But my account is in such where it's like I'm sitting comfortable and like I'm trying to fight the urge to just add to certain things. Primarily because last week I had a lot of ads. So like Delta Airlines, I really want to add to. I'm slightly red on it, but I know any day it'll start moving. Royal Caribbean did really well. I'm a full position size on a lot of stuff, and I still have cash on hand. I have about 25 to 30% cash on hand. Today would have been a good opportunity, but I need to trim some other positions. And the problem is I just got a few positions that are barely red, and I hate dollar cost averaging on positions that are barely red, and I'm just getting the same average.
Well, did you consider maybe starting any new positions at all?
No. There are opportunities out there, but there's nothing that really strikes my fancy, especially because I think I have like 18 positions. So I have a decent amount of positions, and I don't want to feel too overwhelmed. But I could start positions. The one I could potentially do is lots.
Yeah.
Like if there was anyone that I was thinking about, car lots would be one I would think about getting into. It's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, we put that on the watch list today. It is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me to look at that because I saw Drive Shack coming down, and I was like, give me some of that.
Well, you got Drive Shack. Did you say you added to Clove?
I added to Clover at 13, as I had told all of you guys that I would. And so I got like 400 shares back into that. And I feel pretty good about the position that I'm in. I mean, even if it comes down a little bit more, I'm not going to freak out. But it is at a crucial support at that 13. It did come all the way back down to like 1250. But it's bounced back pretty nicely, really obviously the whole market kind of came down, but most of the quote unquote meme stocks also came down as well. I mean, AMC is down 8.5%. So I think it's just a good day to buy the dip.
Yeah. Speaking of the dip, so if you lived under a rock and didn't know what was going on, our main man, Jerome Powell from the Fed, spoke today. He had words. You want to tell him what the news was?
Yeah, guys. So It's pretty tough. Pretty easy to perhaps freak out on this kind of stuff. So Jerome Powell said that he acknowledged that inflation is happening.
Ooh.
He also acknowledged that they may raise rates a year earlier than they expected to.
Ooh.
Which
Captain
is
Obvious.
2 years from now. So we probably should freak out about this, right? So there's a lot going on. They haven't really talked too much about tapering, but that could be on the table as well. And I have one thing to say about that.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Guys, it is not that big of a deal. And that's why I ended up buying a bunch of stuff today. I mean, I think that we could even see a little bit more of a sell-off perhaps tomorrow and Friday, but it is not really deterring me at all from wanting to sell out of anything. I'm not worried. We're talking 2 years from now, and maybe they move it up a little bit more. If that happens, it's still not. It's still a great thing for the economy.
Yeah.
Historically, we've seen interest rates go up and the markets go up. So, like, it's not anything that I think that anybody needs to worry themselves over or freak out about. It's just a blip on the radar.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny how every time the Fed has a conference, has a meeting, and follows up with Jerome Powell saying pretty much it feels like the same thing.
Yes.
It's like it's silly at this point.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I don't know, man. I was close to buying the dip, but like we talked about in level 3 this morning, where I was like, probably not much going to happen in lead up to the meeting at 2 p.m.
Yep.
Then we saw the dip, and now things came back. I think my account moved down like 2% as Jerome was speaking, and then just came right back.
Oh, yeah.
To the levels pretty much immediately. So we saw some other people get into some stuff. I know Steve King bought the dip on things. Your portfolio should be prepared. Yeah, that's the one thing I will say is, man, it feels good to have a diversified portfolio. And
sure does.
I've been working towards having a really well-balanced portfolio. And like Bank of America did really well, actually, after the interest rate news. But had a couple things. It was nice to be in a few things that still maintain green. ChargePoint for me was a sleeper today. It was up over 6% off of some like fleet solutions that they're offering. That's been a steady killer for me. Yeah,
there was a lot, not a lot, but there were some interesting little gems. I mean, GM went up crazy this morning, went up like 2.5%, 3% on news that they are dumping even more money into the EV side of their business. That stock went to more all-time highs. This thing is going to continue to roll, I think. But as people get excited that some of the bigger automotive companies are getting into this game, I think they're going to become more and more attractive. Now, I don't think it hurts Tesla all that much, even though it was down today. But, I think if you guys are looking for, I guess, an alternative to Tesla because you think it might be overvalued, I mean, GM I still think has room, and Ford definitely does.
Yeah. Tesla should be green. Tesla was green.
Is it green
last
now?
time I checked.
Was it? I know that it was like down around 600 earlier today.
Yeah,
so.
it was red most of the day, but I want to say it.
Oh, yeah, it did pop green. Yeah, it's at 606. Right now it's up 1%.
I hope Tesla doesn't turn into one of these like Amazon situations where it's sideways for 9 months hanging around $600.
I mean, it's possible, bro. The thing went up 800% last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible.
We need Elon to start tweeting. Elon, where you at?
Give me the semis.
Speaking of Elon, Elon's talked a lot about crypto. And one thing I mentioned yesterday, but I wanted to formally speak about it today. One thing that's been on my mind a lot is what's happening with crypto and where's the attention lies and what I'm doing about it. So, there's a lot of talk about inflation, and one of the opportunities for hedges against inflation is crypto, especially Bitcoin. And I've been pretty vocal on this channel about looking at the two top dogs, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and really liking Ethereum. And I've established a greater position in Ethereum. That's what I've been focused on. But I will tell you that upon further review and just sort of the overall sentiment of the economy, spending, inflationary concerns, it is time for me to begin continuing to build my Bitcoin position. I had a very minuscule position and I stopped and just went into Ethereum. So I don't have zero, but I have a small amount that I want to start growing that position and hedge against it just in case. And I'll tell you, the attention has moved away from crypto, but I think it'll be back sooner than we realized. Bitcoin briefly popped above 40,000. And it's now back down below 39K. It's down, I think, 4%. Ethereum's down below 2,500, down like 4%. I only think it's a matter of time before this gets moving again, on its way back up to 50K plus. And so we've mentioned this time and time again.
Yeah.
We want to get in things before people start talking about it, before people start getting excited about it. And so my thought is that there's going to be continued scrutiny around spending, and there's going to be continued concern around inflation, and Bitcoin's sort of one of the solid hedges against it, more so than gold. And I will be clear, I am way more bullish on Bitcoin than I am on gold.
Yeah. Did you, speaking of spending, did you see, and I'll get right back on topic, Rick Santelli talking about the Fed, like the government spend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he went crazy. If you guys didn't see that, go to my Twitter, @OwnTheChaos. He went off on Jim Cramer and the judge. That was hilarious. But no, man, I'd agree. I think that Bitcoin is getting closer and closer to that 200-day moving average. If we look at the chart here, I think that as we get closer to that, we could see a really nice pop. And it's actually right around 42,800 is where that 200-day moving average is. If we pop up over that, I think that it starts to get interesting. I don't necessarily think that it's going to like go crazy there, but I think there's a possibility that it could. But I agree. I think that as people are still talking about crypto, but not like they were a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, not like they were during Saturday Night Live, Elon's Saturday Night Live. So I think this is definitely something that we could, I guess, kind of get into. I mean, I've told you that I've been thinking about getting myself into crypto more and more, and this could be a really good opportunity for me to do the same as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time we had a question about crypto or specifically Bitcoin.
Me either.
No, but and I even on Twitter, I'm seeing nothing. It's like crickets out there, other than the obsessed people with it. But there's really been a lot of there's been a whole lot of nothing. And so I'm saying right now, like, now is the time for me to start building. And so then when everybody gets back into it, and then the conversation is, oh, boom, broke back over 40. And really it is breaking over 50.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be on its way. And I just want to be chilling in it by then.
Tom Lee of Fundstrat says 100K by the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Which is not that crazy.
I mean, is it impossible to think that? No, I don't think so.
No, you gotta. That's why I hate using numbers. That's why I always talk percentages, because it literally, like, if it gets to 50, it just has to double, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about a 60% increase, a little bit more. No, I mean,
that's an extra $1 trillion into Bitcoin, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's. Yeah, so
yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's still
like
a lot of money. I know.
And that's where, when you look at like Ethereum and you say, can Ethereum get to $5,000? That seems real, or even $6,000. That seems like really easy.
Yeah.
But I think people are getting hung up on like, oh, 100K. Like, crypto moves that way.
Yep.
And
it sure does.
And so it going up that much is really not that hard of a call. Now, people are saying $500,000. Not by the end of the year, but some people are saying $500,000. Like, that's wild to think.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but you're relying on a lot of people to see the perceived value of it, which has always been the challenge. But it'll be the hedge. It'll be sort of what I'm focusing on now. Eventually focusing back on Ethereum, because ultimately I'm more bullish on that. But specifically because I think inflationary concerns are going to continue to be an overwhelming topic of conversation. I think Bitcoin's the way for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Deep Singh says Ethereum 10K by the end of the year. Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be awesome. I mean, you look at Ethereum now. Look at the chart. I think this has to, I think in order for Ethereum to keep going, it's got to break over, I think, around 2,800. And again, Bitcoin I have at that 200-day moving average, which I think is very crucial. It's at 42.8. So I see Mr. DeSoto in here saying around 41, 42. I have it just above that. So we're almost in line there, I think. But yeah, I think this is a probably a pretty good opportunity. I mean, it's not going to be as good as getting down here around 29, but I mean, if you have strong feelings like we do about it hitting 100K potentially, I mean, there's plenty of upside here. I mean, even doubling from here. I mean, you're looking at 64,900 was the all-time high for Bitcoin. That's still a ton of upside from where it's at right now, even if it just gets back to its highs.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I think what's going to take it there is the institutional pressure.
Yeah.
I think institutions are going to feel the FOMO and feel like it's sort of SOP to like just get in and be in. We already saw it happen, and it's kind of fallen by the wayside, but I think that's really what's going to get that money flowing in and just continuing to just getting the momentum back into it is institutional buying.
Bro, every morning I listen to CNBC, and every morning there's a new institution talking about having 5% Bitcoin in their portfolios. I mean, BlackRock was on today,
Really?
and what's his name? Jamie Dimon also has Bitcoin. Like, he's the CEO of JP Morgan. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about the largest institutions in the world are now accepting the fact that they need to have some sort of exposure to this. So I think I agree. I mean, once the big money continues to start moving in, I think it's probably only going to be up from here.
Yeah, and Big Felix states Ethereum will tank on the 25th. Does not matter. That's not the question. The question is, what are you going to do about it if it does?
This is just like random dates. Remember, I don't know, it was probably a couple of years ago about some sort of crazy pastor predicting the end of the world on this specific date.
Yeah.
These people, Big Felix is that guy.
Well, we talked about the reality is it could move down and at the options expiry. And so that could happen, but that's not the question. What are you doing about it? Because if it does tank, if you're high conviction on it, are you scooping up?
Yeah.
Like Ethereum to me is not something that I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to time it on the 24th. I'm going to get out
right,
and I'm going to do the dip. No, it's dip opportunities to add to it. So if it moves down 30%, which it very well could, 20%, whatever it is, if it moves down essentially, let's just say to below 2,000 would be a mark where I would look like, I'm scooping it up.
Yeah.
I'm scooping it up. And so that's where you got to really think about it. Like, predicting dips or not, like knowing it could possibly happen. That's great to know that it could possibly happen.
Yeah.
We'll see how the market reacts. And if everybody's saying it's going to dip on the 25th, we can't all do the same thing. So the reaction is going to be interesting. Now that we know what the last reaction is, the market may switch up a little bit.
Yeah, probably. Big Felix says he's still going to buy a bunch if it does end up happening. Yeah, bring it on. Somebody mentioned something about Clover today too. About, I don't know, they were just trolling saying it was going to go to 7, and I was like, yeah, give me some of that.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we have strong convictions on stocks and they end up tanking, that just gives us more opportunities to buy. And we talk about that all the time. If your conviction hasn't changed and the company hasn't changed, then you're essentially being given a gift.
Yeah.
So, I think that if Ethereum does do that or if Bitcoin does do that, then I think it'll be a really great opportunity to buy. I mean, you're looking right now, they're having a little bit of a down day, but they're going to be good ones to get into. Speaking of which, Clover's actually popped right back up over 13 as I was just talking about it. So you guys know that I've been watching this $13 mark, and it was briefly under there for a couple of hours, and it's now making its way back up over 13. So this could be a good sign for Clover. We'll see. It's a nice little green candle here. This looks great. It's looking good, man.
Camilo E says, you guys don't think Bitcoin will still drop to 20K? I don't know. Can it? 100% it can.
Yeah, I mean, crypto goes all over the place.
But
I think it has a stronger likelihood, though, of hitting 50K before it hits 20K.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is, like, when you think about, like, crypto, when I think about Bitcoin or Ethereum, your time horizon is really important. Mm-hmm. So my time horizon, like, I'm not trying to take profits on crypto. Like, my time horizon is retirement.
Yeah.
And so trying to predict whether it hits 20K or not is sort of like a waste of time. Buying when it hits 20K is more what I'd like to do. And so that's why we talk about something like, Bitcoin speculative stuff is scaling in dollar cost averaging. That's why it's important on those type of things. So I always just kind of chuckle, like, if people are like, do you think this, like, is it going to go to 20K? Well, why not say 10? Why not say 25? Like, we're just picking arbitrary numbers out of thin air at this point.
Yeah, we are.
But just thinking about your time horizon, and if, the question I ask myself is, will it be at 20K 20 years from now? And the answer to me feels like a resounding absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I see Dimitri says, hey guys, balls deep in Penn. My retirement and short-term Webull account. That's what's up.
I know.
Balls deep in Penn. Penn came down.
Speaking
of gifts. Yeah, speaking of gifts. Also, Daniel Camarena is in the house. He says FedEx is moving into EVs. He said their station in LA is getting new electric vans. Who you're getting electric vans through, Daniel? That's what I want to know. Who's the company? I feel like you said that. I thought you said that they have charge point stations too. FedEx does.
Yeah, I think you said that. Savvy picked up more Zoom today.
Let's take a look at Penn. Where's Penn at? I know I saw it come down to 77, which it broke the trend. Just an FYI. So there is likelihood that it could come back down if it continues to follow the break in that trend. But yeah, sitting at 77.84. Yesterday it came down with DraftKings. Today I think it probably just moved because the rest of the market did. So it hasn't been a great 2 days for Penn, but nothing's changed for me here.
Yeah, Penn in your retirement account. My God, like we're thinking of extremely conservative target for Penn is $100 by the end of the year.
Oh,
by the end of the year. So
that's
for your retirement.
That's your conservative target. Let's 150, bro.
That's your conservative is 150.
Yeah, because I think it could hit 200 by the end of the year.
Okay, so conservative is 100% from here in 6 months.
Yep. If Bitcoin can do it, so can Penn.
Yeah, 150 is definitely realistic. I would say that's not my conservative, but I think that's a very realistic aim for
That's fair. That's fair. The bear case is that Penn goes up 20% from here.
Yeah, I think 200 is best case scenario.
Yeah.
But I think they got something cooking. I just feel it. I feel like Dave Portnoy had his back against the wall and they're going to crush it. I think you're going to dominate. I think they're going to be number one in New Jersey by next year.
Ever since they severed ties with Sirius, it seems as if they've been working on something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something with Spotify. Maybe he's trying to pull a Joe Rogan or something like that. But to me, it does seem like they've been like laying low since the Sirius breakup. And so I'm curious. I don't know if they're making their own media platform or they're signing a big deal with another major platform. But I feel like we're going to hear something about that soon because I know I miss it on Sirius because I have Sirius Radio. I miss hearing Barstool Radio. So I imagine they're going to do something along those lines. And if they do that, I mean that's just more marketing that goes towards Penn, more marketing that goes towards sports betting, all that stuff. So I think that. Yeah, I agree. I think that they're working on something, and we're just going to hear something one day about what they've been planning and how they're going to execute it. So I got no reason to sell it.
By the way, did you hear that Dave Portnoy is I don't want to say he's kind of trolling Charles Barkley in a positive way, trying to get him on the Barstool?
Yeah, Charles Barkley, you guys didn't hear, had words with who's it, TNT or TBS, one of them. TNT. About, I don't know, just joking around about the girls in San Antonio or something. Stuff that Charles Barkley always does. And I guess he got tired of the politically correct crowd, said he was done. So then Dave Portnoy was like, come on over here. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be insane to have Deion Sanders for football season, to have Charles Barkley for basketball. Can you imagine Charles Barkley at Barstool?
That's what I'm saying. Like that, it's a perfect fit for him.
That'd be
TNT
hilarious.
is getting rid of Charles Barkley.
Oh, they are? That
yeah,
was
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so Charles Barkley said that he was done in 2 years anyways.
Okay. All I heard was that like he was going to be done, like because he said it himself, not.
Yeah. So I guess they're not renewing his contract after 2 years. So he was like, well, I was going to be done anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, that was my last contract anyways. But I bet that Dave Portnoy could convince him to continue to go, especially if he gives him freedom and latitude. And Barstool is a perfect platform for somebody like Charles Barkley.
He literally said, all I want to do is just have fun. And I have to believe that Barstool can allow him to just have all the fun he wants.
Yeah, sit on, do a podcast.
Yeah.
And just like commentate on basketball and talk shit. Like, hell yeah.
If there was a personality, it would be him or Shaq that I could see on Barstool.
Yeah.
Like Shaq would be hilarious too.
Yeah, for sure. People are talking about Call Her Daddy left Spotify. I mean, Call Her Daddy was a great left for Spotify.
That's a huge show.
It's a huge show, and they left for like $60 million.
That's nuts.
Which is insane. Spotify is essentially like DraftKings.
Yes,
they just
they're
spend
spending,
a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And I think over the long term, what you'll see, like, number one, I don't think Penn would say that Spotify is a direct competitor, or Barstool would say that Spotify is a direct competitor, especially because Penn owns them now.
Yeah.
And so for their talent, yeah, that like they could lose them, but like anything they do in the podcast world is just icing on the cake.
Yep.
And honestly, they're playing the long game anyway. So like they take care of their people. And I think what you're going to see over time, when you look at Joe Rogan and like the issues he dealt with when he went over.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can throw as much money as you want at people, but like Barstool.
Barstool is even more controversial than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So like the backlash, I think, would be big. Could be big for Spotify and their employees if you remember the issues they were having that with just even bringing them onto the platform.
Oh yeah, I mean that too. But like Barstool doesn't negotiate hard with their people. They take care of their people.
They do, yeah.
They may not pay them as much, but like they give them the rights, which is the most important piece. They give them the rights. Spotify ain't going away with that.
Not only that, but they give them whatever they want.
Yeah,
I mean, when the Call Her Daddy stuff happened, like, you know, there were so many other podcasters. I mean, PMT, all of them were just like, yeah, I mean, anything we ask for, they just give it to us. No questions asked, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you saw Dave Portnoy when he was with Eddie and the boys or whatever in Chicago, and he was like, what the hell kind of office is this? And he was just like, no, this is not acceptable. And it wasn't because Eddie just didn't ask for it. And that was why. But like, that's just how it is there. Like they just get taken care of in different ways than just throwing money at things.
Yeah, I've got to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Everybody keeps commenting about the person in the back. So Papa Zoom, is he still back there?
He's taking.
Your dad. Just wave, what's up?
It's old man Zoom back there.
That's Pops back there. just got into town.
Yep.
We got a big night tonight. I got like 60 seconds. I got to run.
Yeah.
Not Brad, but I'll be running.
I'll be here still.
We got a big night tonight. For those of you who don't know Baltimore is known for their crabs and one of the best activities, which is crab feast. So we're having man meals tonight, people. Wednesday. I got a fresh do. We got man meal crab feast tonight. It's going to be a big night. It's going to be outside, beautiful weather.
Today is an amazing day.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I cannot wait.
I got people flying into town, so that's why I got to leave. I got to pick somebody up. Hopefully he'll be around tomorrow for the live. Or shit, tomorrow's the live stream.
Yeah.
He might be through for tomorrow's live stream. So tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern time.
You're going to want to be here tomorrow.
I'll be back.
I promise you're going to want to be here tomorrow.
But I got to run. See you, brother.
By the way, we're celebrating his birthday.
We're going wild. It's an all-week celebration.
It is. See you, bro.
Bye.
A Shock City Rocker says Fells Point, baby. I guess he knows Fells Point. Fells Point's where it's at. Best part of the city. But just because Fat Man Zoom's rolling out doesn't mean that I'm still here. I'll still hang out with you guys well into after hours. There's no real earnings happening. So I thought maybe if you guys have questions, I could certainly we could certainly do that. I certainly would be happy to do like just a regular old Q&A. It can be about stocks. It can be about me. It can be about Fat Man Zoom. It could be about our studio, whatever the hell you guys want to talk about, because there isn't a whole lot going on in the market, but we still want to be here for you. So if you guys have burning questions, anything that you want to talk about, hit them up in the chat. Why is tomorrow so big, and when is Fat Man Zoom's birthday? Fat Man Zoom's birthday is on Friday. And so we're celebrating. So the man meal, you guys know, every Wednesday we have a man meal where all of us guys get together. We're all friends, and it's every single Wednesday. We go to a different restaurant. Every other week we'll have it here as well. We just like to support local businesses, so we'll go to different restaurants and support them. It's usually like 15 to 20 guys. I mean, it's not just a small group. We have a huge group of guys, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're celebrating Fat Man Zoom's birthday today, even though it's on Friday. We'll have to rag on him real hard tomorrow because it's going to be good. I got him an amazing gift. You guys, I can't say it. I can't give it away in case he's watching, but it's going to be awesome. All right, cool. I like the questions that are coming in here. I know there's a lot of them, so if I don't get to you, I apologize. But I'm just going to pick some ones out that are kind of popping out at me. Let's see here. Trade Desk, 10-to-1 stock split this week. Yeah, Trade Desk has been a really, really good stock. It's been a little bit all over the place. Obviously, it tanked pretty hard after earnings. And honestly, I think a lot of this was because of just tech and overall. I mean, look, Trade Desk got way ahead of itself. Not to say that it wasn't deserved, right? But I mean, this thing went ape shit. Almost 1,000% from its lows back when the crash took place. And it has just gone nuts, almost $1,000 a share. And it's been downtrending. It hasn't really changed that downtrend at all. Maybe the split helps this. We'll see. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not, but really what you want to pay attention to is the trend here. So if you look up here at 972 and we draw a trend line, you can see that it kind of had a couple of fake outs here, but never really truly broke out and had a reversal of this trend. So in my opinion, I still think that it's downtrending, and I love Trade Desk. Don't get me wrong. The company is amazing. I really think that they have a really bright future, but man, it's been a tough 6 months for Trade Desk, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. We could potentially retest this, and maybe it pops up over this, especially leading into the split. But I think that this is also something that it almost kind of has to be one of those things where you have to wait and see if it breaks over it, and then maybe can make that determination that a reversal is taking place. But nothing that's indicating that just yet, as far as I'm concerned. Frederick Molina, what is that? Frederick Marullo. Did I pronounce that right? Says, we love you, Brad. We won't quit on you. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Rudy Brown says, I got an alert that OnlyFans is going to IPO. Oh, man. I would buy that just as a YOLO. I would buy just to say I own OnlyFans. I have to look that up. Breaking news. OnlyFans is going to IPO. By the way, did you guys hear today marked a record for the most IPOs in a single year, period, and we're only halfway through. This is something that's interesting to me too, because the last time we saw IPOs, this many IPOs in a year, and we're only halfway through the year. So this broke the yearly record, and we're in June, which is wild. The last time we saw activity like this as far as IPOs were concerned was the dot-com bubble. Now, things are a lot different now, but it is something that just makes you think like, oh man, this many IPOs. Now, last time this happened, when you had all these crazy IPOs during the dot-com bubble, these were companies that had no revenue, they had nothing, no real business model. They just had a website and people were buying the shit out of them. So not the same scenario, but it is a little bit alarming just to see how many of them are going public. Because lots of times they end up failing. I don't know. We'll see how this all shakes out, but it is a red flag. I don't have too many of them as far as the market's concerned because I still remain bullish on it, but that is a red flag to me that so many companies are going public, and obviously SPACs are in there as well. But man, it is a little troubling, I have to say. Let's see here. We got somebody going crazy. Crash or correction or bull run? I think the bull run, I think we're good. I think there's going to be a bull run, but yeah, let's not spam the chat, bro. Let's not spam the chat. I still remain bullish on the market overall. Let's see here. Sean asked, if you did think we were in a bubble, where would you put most of your money, or would you keep it in cash? Oh man, that's a really great question. I probably would move a lot of it into precious metals like gold and maybe even possibly Bitcoin. But what I've seen from Bitcoin as well is that it reacts to the market too. The market, takes a dive. So does Bitcoin. So people that think that Bitcoin is going to be this amazing hedge and a safe haven from the stock market if it crashes, I think are sadly mistaken. I think it does react to the market to a certain extent. It's not as reactive as the Dow Jones or S&P can be, but I think oftentimes you see that when it's a sharp correction, everything corrects, not just the stock market, not just anything that's related to the US dollar. It's also crypto. So, but I do think that gold could be a good alternative if there was a bubble. But yeah, I mean, getting into cash, there's nothing wrong with that. I just worry about getting into nothing but cash because of inflation and obviously that sort of thing. You're losing 2% a year if you're just sitting in cash. That cash diminishes by 2% and probably more this year. If all you're doing is holding on to cash. That's why we always talk about investing and being in the market and not being 100% cash for any length of time. Let's see here. Do I invest in dividend stocks? Asks Sam. I do actually. I have a dividend bot. So my business partner, Jake, we don't talk enough about Jake, but he does incredible work. I have another business. It's called WeTradeHQ.com. And we have several things going on there. We sell trading bots and all kinds of other stuff. Obviously my educational content's on there, along with Don Frown from the Don Frown Show, which, by the way, go give him a follow if you're not already. He has a YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in trading options, he is the options genius. And I'm not using that term lightly at all. Don is the best person I've ever seen trading options in my entire life. And I've seen a lot. That dude crushes it every single day. So go check him out. But yeah, so I do trade dividends, but it's automatically traded through a bot itself. And that's just like my long-term, I'm going to live off of that when I retire type of account. Where are the boner candles to buy? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of them. Funny pranks gone wrong. What's up, man? All right. What's your opinion on South American grocery CBD, says Savvy Money Show? Bro, I got no idea. Never heard of that one. But I will say, like, CBD, the problem with CBD, weed stocks, and anything related to that is that the market is just so crowded and full of them. There has to be some sort of consolidation in the market for that to really kind of, I don't know, makes sense. And that's why I was like looking, when I get into the cannabis conversation, I'm always looking at canopy growth, CGC. That's usually the one that I kind of steer towards people. I mean, there's definitely these little companies that could do well, but you just never know. There's just so many of them. It's crazy. What is your highest, Jeppy says, I hope I pronounced that right. Jeppy Jensen says, what is your highest conviction stock to buy right now with huge upside? Ooh, my highest conviction stock with huge upside. So I'm going to go with Spirit Air System. And this isn't sexy. This isn't something that probably anybody would think that I would put into, because there's so many other ones, right? The popular ones that you could look at. But look at Spirit Air Systems chart. You know, I actually drew this trend line the other day, and I was like, you know, if we break out of this, it's gonna do really, really well. Sure enough, it did, and it's settling out pretty nicely here. But this is a daily chart. I want you guys to take a look at this. If you guys don't know Spirit Air System, Spirit Air System is a company that involves themselves with plane manufacturing, particularly with the Boeing 737s. Boeing is their biggest client. They also make plane parts for Airbus as well, a couple of other smaller clients, but Boeing's their biggest one. But you look at this chart, and we look at this $93 range was where it was at before the 737 MAX issues took place and all that good stuff. Now we're starting to see that Boeing is getting more plane orders and all that good stuff. We're not even close to where we were pre-pandemic, which was at $70. And then, you know, before the 737 MAX issues, it was at 92. Spirit Air System hasn't really diluted at all. They haven't done anything other than just continue to do their own thing. So I think that there's potentially 100% upside here still. And it's with it being in the industrials sector, I think that there's tons of upside. I mean, you look at Boeing and it's lagging Boeing. You look at the Boeing chart, it's actually moved up. I mean, it's not quite where it was pre-pandemic, but it definitely doesn't have 100% upside to go. You know, with Boeing trading at 242 and the pre-pandemic highs were at 347, that's about, 35% upside? Spirit has 100% upside, I think, from here. So I that's probably my biggest conviction stock. I have about 15% of my portfolio is wrapped up in the Spirit. You know, it hasn't lit anybody's world on fire, but I just think that one day we're just going to see a huge move off of this, and I don't want to be chasing it. So I'm just going to continue to sit in that position. I'm up a ton already. I feel really good about it. So I still think there's plenty of upside still to go for this. I love this stock. There's lots of other ones. You guys heard me talk about Penn before. Airbnb, those are close ones as well as far as my high conviction stocks are concerned. Those are my three largest positions, is Airbnb, Spirit, and Penn. Man, bring on the questions, guys. I love this. Questions about, I see a couple of people talking about Acorns IPO. So the Acorn IPO, I don't know what the valuation of Acorn is or what the expected valuation is. Here's what I'll say about it, though. If it reacts any way like Coinbase did or any of the other investment firms did on their IPO days, or really most of the IPOs that we've seen, most of them have not done well recently. You know, we haven't seen any good IPOs react well essentially since the first of the year. I mean, we've seen a couple of them do really well maybe in the first couple of days, and then it fizzles out. So I would say that if you're looking to get into Acorns, I think that I would just wait till the hype's over, watch it on IPO day, see where it goes. But I think you're going to have plenty of time to get into that. It's a great company. We'll see how they do as far as a publicly traded company is concerned. But yeah, I think I would just wait to see how it reacts on IPO day and go from there. If you want to YOLO it on some crazy day trade, that's fine. That's a different conversation. But as far as like straight up investing in the company, I think you're going to have a lot of time to work your way into that one. Let's see here. What's your opinion on the banks in the financial sector standing back while crypto is taking their business? I don't think that the banks are moving into crypto themselves. So I think they're just hopping on the bandwagon. As far as banks go in general, we look at the XLF, which if you guys don't know about the XLF, it is the financial sector's ETF. It's starting to downtrend. It actually broke out of this upward trend. Look at this. So this represents all the major banks. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that people are realizing that perhaps inflation is transitory and that it is going to be temporary and it's not going to last forever. Well, that's not good for the banks. You know, if interest rates go up, the banks go up. If interest rates fall, the 10-year yield's down below 1.5 now. And that's why it's been coming down here. So the banks have been backing off a little bit because of that. But as far as crypto is concerned, they're moving into it themselves as well. I mean, I just spoke about it earlier about how Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, the largest bank in the world, is got plenty of crypto in their pocket as well. Let's see here. Sean, you guys are are bringing the questions. Sean has a really good question. Let's see here. What you got, Sean? Oh shoot. Let's see here. Do you have any advice for managing time spent on the market and time away from work? Is that I find that live streams or not, I find hard to manage my time away from thinking about money and how to shoot. Yeah, I don't see the rest. Oh, wait. Not in school for a while. Wanted to do the live streams in the market open, close. Okay, I see what you're saying. So here's how I manage my time in the market. I will say it's been a long time. It took a long time for me to how do I say this? It took a long time for me to realize that I can do other things other than just focus on the stock market all the time, which is why I've evolved into like just swing trading and buying things with the intent of holding them for several weeks or maybe even a few months, because I can't watch the stock market every minute of every day. I know people that I've seen people that day trade, that trade off of the 1 minute charts, and they can barely get up to take a piss. And I'm like, nobody wants to live that way. I don't want to live glued to this desk. I quit my job and went into investing by myself to live off of for the freedom, not just to be tied to another desk at home. And let me tell you something, being tied to a desk at home, trading, all day long is lonely as hell. So don't get yourself wrapped up into that. Come up with a plan that works for you, but ultimately do it because you want to experience that freedom, the financial freedom, and live below your means. I do. I mean, I live below my means probably a little too much, but I do it so that I can just have the freedom to do whatever the hell I want and not have to worry about any of that stuff. So I don't want to say minimal research or spend minimal time in the market. I just have worked to be able to have a healthy balance of both. And I get to be here with you guys every day, which is awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. It's great. Alerts are great. Yeah, alerts are your best friend as well. I mean, we can trade on our phones now these days. So, I mean, you literally can do it anywhere. Okay. All right. I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I know that there's tons of questions that I didn't get to, and I appreciate y'all participating, hanging out here. If you do have a question, though, feel free to go over to ownthechaos.com. If you guys just want to sign up for our free watch list, you can do that. We put out a watch list every single day, 5 stocks that we have our eye on and what might actually end up moving. Today, we actually knocked it out of the park. I think it was 4 out of 5 stocks we had on the watch list today. It ended up green. So if you guys want to check that out, go to ownthechaos.com. The link's in the description. If you want even more of Own the Chaos, we have our Discord group. I give out trade alerts anytime I'm in and out of stocks. I also give out my portfolio as well in there. So you guys want to check that out, you can also click the join button next to subscribe. That's going to do it for me, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out, even though it was a rather slow day, allowing us to be a part of your afternoon. That's going to do it for me. As always, we'll see y'all before the bell. See you tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to do it for me, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out.
I quit this bitch.
Peace.